The first Republican debate is actually tonight on C-SPAN. They're calling it a forum, right? But it's and only 3 of the candidates are not going to be there. So it's say what? Yeah, they're coming up one at a time. It's not going to be a debate. It's a forum. It's like, okay, what are your positions? What are your positions? What are your positions? But it's going to be interesting, and it's getting no publicity whatsoever because they can't sell commercial advertising. There's no money in it, and C-SPAN, by the way, is part of the outside. Right, C-SPAN is the necessary evil that came along with cable companies running their wires through the commons. They run their wires through our neighborhoods. They run them through our streets, under our streets, over our streets, and we pay to maintain them. And so in exchange for the cable companies using our commons, they all have to kick in a small amount of money to C-SPAN, and that's how C-SPAN is funded. C-SPAN was, when cable was growing and Congress said, okay, we got to regulate cable somehow because it's growing like a weed. This was and this was a variation on the old fairness doctrine, which was if you're using a radio or television over the air, you've got to do a public service. And the public service was you got to program in the public good. And that public good was you have to have real news. Well, Reagan ended that in '87. But C-SPAN was with regard to cable television, C-SPAN was the same thing. Basically, you've got to have, real public affairs programming. Now, you don't have to do it on your network. You don't have to do it on CNN or MSNBC or Fox or ABC or CNN or Showtime or HBO. You don't have to do it on your network. You just have to do it on the cable structure. So we'll invent this C-SPAN thing and stick it off here on the corner. But they're essentially the outsiders. And they do a lot of really good outsider programming. But, you got to work for C-SPAN. I have a friend who applied for a job over at C-SPAN recently in the production staff, as a producer. And, they don't pay that well. They don't pay as well as commercial television. Their stars are not multimillionaires. It's sort of like Free Speech TV. Free Speech TV is the outsiders. Right? Nobody's getting rich at Free Speech TV. In fact, a lot of people are getting absolutely nothing. And who are chipping in, and it's a fine thing. We need more of these outsider voices. We need to strengthen the outsider voices. This program is. I am an outsider. I have chosen to be an outsider voice. And you can figure out who's the insiders and who's the outsiders.